Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama get a good one now. Prepare,
Hare Krishna, everybody. Thank you for coming to the Srimad Bhagavatam class. Please repeat after me. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Narayanam Namaskritya.
Narayanam Namaskritya.
Narayam Narottamam. Devim Saraswatim Vyasam. Tato Jayamudirayath. Nasta Presha Budareshu. Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. Bhagavate Uttama Sloke. Bhaktir Bhavati Naistikihi. Om Jnanatimirandhyasya Jnana Salakaya Chakshuramritamyana Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Marvishtum Startum Yeraputre Swadrupagama Indarati Swapatantikam. Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Uttapadamanam Sri Guru Vaishnavasya Sri Rupam Sakarijatam Sakana Raghunatham Tam Sajivam Sarvetam Savrutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Param Sahana Lalita Sri Visakam Utamcha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabhudu Jagatpate Gopisha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Mosute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishvanusi Devi Pranamani Hari Priye Vanchakavadurusha Kripa Sindhu Evacha Patiranam Pavnebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktavranda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Namo Shri Krishna Krishna Putare Sukite Jagata Swami Nami Namacharya Vidanitai Kripa Vidani Gaura Gadadam Dai Nidam Dai Mukam Kuroti Manchalo Kamdai Kripatamam Mande Sri Guru Jenitam Paramamadavam Sri Chaitanya Ishwara. Hare Krishna. Today we are reading Srimad Bhagavatam, Chapter 10, Chapter 6, Chapter entitled Lord Balaram slays Rukmi. Lord Balaram slays Rukmi. Text number 2. Text number 2 because it's the shortest verse. Okay, please repeat after me. Grahat Anapangam Vikshya.
Grahat Anapangam Vikshya.
Grahat Anapangam Vikshya.
Grahat Anapangam Vikshya.
Raja Putro Juttam Stihitam.
Raja Putro Juttam.
Raja Putro Juttam Stihitam.
Raja Putro Juttam.
Preshtam Yamat Satam Swam Swam.
Preshtam Yama Sata Swam Swam.
Preshtam Yama Satam Swam Swam.
Preshtam Yama Sata Swam Swam.
Na tat tatva vidastriya.
Na tat tatva vidastriya.
Na tat tatva vidastriya.
Na tat tatva vidastriya.
Grihat anapangam vikshya.
Grihat anapangam vikshya.
Rajaputro yutam stihitam.
Rajaputra Yutam Stitam.
Prestam yama satam swam swam.
Preshtam Yama Sata Swam Swam.
Na tat tatva vidastriya.
Na tat tatva vidastriya.
Grihat anupangam vikshya.
Grihat anupangam vikshya.
Rajaputro yutam stihitam.
Rajaputro Yutam Stitam.
Prestam yama satam swam swam.
Preshtam Yama Sata Swam Swam.
Na tat tatva vidastriya.
Na tat tatva vidastriya.
Grihat anupangam vikshya.
Grihat anupangam vikshya.
Rajaputro yutam stihitam.
Rajaputra Yutam Stitam.
Prestam yama satam swam swam.
Preshtam Yama Sata Swam Swam.
Na tat tatvam vidastriya.
Na tat tatva vidastriya. Grihat anupangam vikshya.
Grihat anupangam vikshya.
Rajaputro Achyutam Stida.
Rajaputro Achyutam Stida.
Preshtam Yaman Sata Swam Swam.
Preshtam Yama Sata Swam Swam.
Na tat tatva vidastriya.
Na tat tatva vidastriya. Grahat anupangam viksha.
Rahatana Bagam Viksha
Raja putryo chitam sitam.
Rajaputro Chitam Stidam
Prestam nyama sata swam swam.
Prestam Yaman Sada Swam Swam
Natat tatva vidastriya.
Nadatatva Vidastriya
Grahat anapagam viksha.
Rahadana Bagam Viksha
Rajaputro
Rajaputro
chitam sitam.
Chitam Stidam
Prestam nyamam sata swam swam.
Prestam Yamam Sada Swam Swam
Natatatva vilasriya.
Nadatatva Vidastriya
Grahat anapagam viksha.
Rahadana Bagam Viksha Rajaputro Chitam Stidam
Prestam nyaman sata swam swam.
Prestam Yama Sada Swam Swam
Natatatva vilasriya.
Nadatatva Vidastriya
Translation and purport by his disciples of his divine grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation. Because each of these princesses saw that Lord Achyutya never left her palace, each thought herself the Lord's favorite. These women did not understand the full truth about him. Purport. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur notes that Lord Krishna would leave the palace only with the permission of his wife, and thus each one considered herself his favorite. Prabhu, Tamil translation.
இந்த அரச குமாரிகளில் ஒவ்வொருத்தையும் தன் அரண்மனையை விட்டு பகவான் அச்சுதர் ஒருபோதும் வெளியே செல்லாததை கண்டு தான் மட்டுமே பகவானுக்கு மிக பிரியமானவள் என்று எண்ணினார். இப்பெண்கள் பகவானை பற்றி முழு உண்மையை அறிந்திருப்பதில்லை. பகவான் ஸ்ரீ கிருஷ்ணா தமது மனைவிகளின் அனுமதியுடன் மட்டுமே வெளியே செல்வார் என்பதால் அவர்களுக்கு ஒவ்வொருத்தையும் தான் மட்டுமே அவருக்கு பிரியமானவள் என்று எண்ணியதாக ஸ்ரீலா விஸ்வநாத சக்கரவர்த்தி தாக்கூர் குறிப்பிடுகிறார்.
Hare Krishna.
ஹரே கிருஷ்ணா.
So this chapter talks a little bit about the genealogical descendant of Krishna's family, a little bit about that. So to prepare for the class, I was very fortunate to hear one class by Keshava Prabhu from Melbourne, Iskcon Melbourne. The class was so good that it literally reminded me of things that I have forgotten. So I'm just going to talk a little bit about that. The last chapter we have heard how Krishna teasing Rukumani saw that how Rukumani is such an exalted devotee. So exalted that at the end of the teasing, that conversation with Rukumani, Krishna says that, my dear Rukumani, I am now surrendered unto you. I am your servant. You please tell me what is your desire. And she replied that, my dear Lord, whatever birth I'm going to take next in my next life due to my karmic activity, please make sure that I am at your serving your lotus feet. This is Rukumani. So therefore, you can see here that Rukumani, among all the queens in Dwarka, she's the topmost. She's the most favorite. So in this chapter, we will see that the other wives of Lord Krishna in Dwarka, the other 16,107. I'm not talking about Rukmini. I'm talking about the rest of them. So amongst these 16,108 wives, there are 8 prominent ones in Dwarka. Okay, 8 prominent ones. The 8 prominent one is Queen Rukmini, Queen Satyabhama, Queen Jambavati, Queen Bhadra, Queen Kalandi, Queen Lakshmana, Queen Mitravinda, and Queen Satya. These are the 8 prominent ones. Okay, so this verse here actually is stating that these wives actually, they all tried their level best to attract Krishna. I read you the next 2 verses. I think you'll get a clear picture. The Supreme Lord's wives were fully enchanted by his lovely lotus-like face, his long arms and large eyes, his loving glance imbued with laughter, and his charming talks with them. But with all this charm, these ladies could not conquer the mind of the all-powerful Lord. The arched eyebrows of these 16,000 queens enchantingly expressed those ladies' secret intentions through coyly smiling sidelong glance. Thus their eyebrow boldly sent forth conjugal message. Yet even with these arrows of Cupid and with other means as well, they could not agitate Lord Krishna's senses. So you can Jai Sri Sri Radha Madhuri Jai Sri Sri Krishna Balaram Ji Jai Bhumika Ki Jai Lakshmi Narasimha Platmani Jai Bhakti Devi Kusi Maharani Jai Srila Prabhupada Ji Gauri Ji Jai. So here is indication that the position of the queens of Dwarka is nowhere in comparison to the gopis of Vrindavan. So how to understand this? So the answer is actually in Brahma Samhita. Okay, in Brahma Samhita, there's one very famous verse there. It says that Prema Jana Chuhurita Bhakti Vilochanena Santa Sadaiva Hardeshu Viloka Yanti Yama Shama Sundara Machinta Guna Swarupam Govinda Madi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. It says here that Lord Shamasundara Krishna himself, with inconceivable, innumerable attributes, whom the pure devotees see in their heart of hearts, with their eyes of devotion tinged with self of love. So this verse here explains that Hare Krishna, Vanga. Your relation. So this verse here explains that Krishna can only be attracted by pure love that is not imbued with any other influences. So to explain this more clearly, Hare Krishna, okay. To explain this even more clearly, there is another verse in Brahma Samhita. It explained that Goloka Namani Nija Damani Talicha Tasya Devi Mahesha Damasu Tesu Tesu Te Te Prabha Nichaya Vihitascha Yena Govindam Adi Purusham Tama Bhajami. So this verse explains that all these holy dhams on earth, like Vrindavan, Dwarka, Mathura, Jagannath Puri, these are actually all existing eternally in the spiritual world. So this verse here explains that when Krishna creates the spiritual world and the material world, it is created by his Yoga Maya potency. Yoga Maya here means that this energy of the Supreme Lord does not deteriorate. That is the energy that exists in the Vaikuntha planets. Whereas this material world that we live in here, the energy that is created, this world is called Mahamaya. Not Yoga Maya, but Mahamaya. Mahamaya means what? No, everything is temporary. In this world, nothing is permanent. You are not permanent, I am not permanent, the car is not permanent, our castle is not permanent, nothing is permanent. You see? So in this verse, it is explained that when Krishna creates, when he creates these worlds, Vaikuntha planets and this material world, what happens is, it is explained somewhere that he says there that Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he gives this ratio, but this is just for us to understand. It is actually more than that. According to him, he says 75% of all Krishna's creation is the Vaikuntha planets. Another 25% is this material world. But actually, if you read through Vedanta Sutra and Srimad Bagavatam, you will find out that it is said there that the Vaikuntha planets are unlimited. This 75-25 just give us some idea. Okay? And it is also stated there that the Vaikuntha planets is expanding. Vaikuntha planets is expanding. And this material world is shrinking. It is shrinking. So this verse here explains that when Krishna creates, there is 4 different kinds of dhammas. So first one is called Devi Dhamma. Devi Dharma. Okay, this Devi Dharma is this material world. This material world. It comes out from the pores of Mahavishnu. Karana Dakashayi Vishnu comes out from his pores. So this Devi Dham is called Devi Dham because the presiding deity that controls this Dham is Durga Devi. In Sanskrit, Durga means fortress, jail, prison house. So that means what? We are all what?
Prisoners.
We are prisoners, lah. We are all prisoners here. And Durga Devi, you will see in a picture, she will have Trishul. She have a Trishul. So this Trishul actually is her weapon to control all of the living entities in this material world. The last chapter, Rukumani, she made a statement that says that actually the kings of this material world is not living entities. The kings in this material world are the three modes of material nature. Satvika Guna, Rajagunam, Tamasa Gunam. This mode of material nature actually controls all living entities in this material world. So last chapter we heard how she was talking about these kings that harassed Krishna so much. She says, no, these kings are nothing. They are actually puppets on the string. These modes of material nature is actually controlling them. The real kings in this material world is actually three modes of material nature. So her Trishul represents the three modes of material nature. It also represents the three kind of miseries. Miseries caused by our mind, miseries caused by other living entities, and miseries caused by material nature. Miseries caused by material nature is like too much rain or not enough rain, or typhoon or tsunami, like that. These are things that we cannot control. These miseries come by itself. We cannot do anything about it. We just have to accept it. Okay. And then the second kind is COVID. Yes, COVID also is included in that. The second kind of misery is miseries that come from other living entities. Can be, a mosquito, can be Nyamo Aedes, can be COVID-19, can be your boss, can be your wife, can be your husband, can be your children. Other living entities give you problem. And then the third kind of misery is misery that come from your own mind. Our own mind gives us problems. Therefore, in this modern world today, the most successful pharmaceutical company is the pharmaceutical company that sells antidepressant. Antidepressant. You own shares in such companies when by now you'll be a multi-millionaire. Prozac and all that, you'll be multi-millionaire already. So these are the problem caused by the mind. And these three should also represent the functions of creation, maintenance, and destruction. Okay. So this is Devi Dham. And this Devi Dham is temporary. Nothing here is permanent. This is her domain. Her job is to make sure that we stay in this material world. We don't go back to our home. Our original home is Vaikuntha planet. And her husband, Durga Devi's husband, is Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva, he's in charge of the Sakti of false ego, Ahangara. He's in charge of that. False ego. So he's in charge of that. So this false ego is the one that is keeping us in this material world. Okay, we are all here because we are under the impression that we are the enjoyer. This Purusha Bhav. This is the mood of all the living entities in this material world. We are all here thinking, oh, I can be happy. I want to enjoy myself. I am the enjoyer. Nandan, Nandan, Nandan. And the ultimate one you'll hear is Nandan Kadaval. Finish. Pochi. So like this, with this false ego, Devi, this Durga Devi, she controls all this living entity. She controls. Okay. So due to the mercy of devotees like Narada Muni, Lord Krishna, they come to this material world just to remind you, hello friend, this is not your home. In the Bible it says that don't build your house on a bridge. In the Bible, it says that, I remember this from many years ago. I thought, what nonsense is this? When I read Srimad Bhagavatam, oh, now I understand. He says, don't build a house on a bridge. Why? Because the bridge is not, not bridge, sorry. Don't build a house on a quicksand. No foundation. Why? Because when the sand moves, your house also will move. So no point building a house there. So similarly, this saying says that don't have your faith in this material world. Don't expect anything from it. He can give you only what he can give you. That's it. But it will not satisfy you. Okay? So there is Devi Dham. Then above Devi Dham is another Dham. It's called Mahesh Dham. Mahesh Dham. This is the abode of Lord Shiva. Some call it Kailash. So this abode is very, very special because it is not in the material world and it's not Vaikuntha also. It's somewhere in the middle. Okay. And Lord Shiva also is very, very special. Where is this? In Vedanta Sutra, it says that there are few tattvas. There are few truths, principles. Okay, the first principle is Jiva Tattva. Second principle is Ishvara Tattva, Vishnu Tattva. The third principle is Sakti Tattva. The fourth principle is Mahesh Tattva, Shiva Tattva. So what this means, he says that this Lord Shiva, his Tattva, his truth, he is not Jiva, he is not Lord Vishnu, he is not Sakti, he's by himself, he's special. So to understand Lord Shiva is very, very, very difficult. Very difficult. The only way you can understand Lord Shiva is by listening to Lord Shiva and following his instruction. His instruction is what? Yes. His another name is Vaishnava Yata Sambho. He says that simply surrender to Krishna. You surrender to Krishna, all your problems will be solved. That is the topic of Bhagavad Gita. If you have Bhagavad Gita, go and read and see. It starts with the premise that this Arjuna, king, one young prince, he got big talavali, and he did the right thing. He approached the supreme authority. He approached Krishna, and Krishna spoke Bhagavad Gita, 700 verses, and at the end, Arjuna's problem is solved. Lord Shiva says the same thing also. You want to solve your problem, you just approach Lord Krishna. You read Bhagavad Gita, read it, understand it, and follow it. That's all you have to do. Okay, this is Mahesh Dham. Mahesh Dham is very, very special. It's not in the material world, it's not in the spiritual world. And then above Mahesh Dham is Hari Dham, also known as Vaikuntha. Okay, so in Vaikuntha planets, there are innumerable Vaikuntha planets that are eternal. And in one of that planet is a planet called Sadashiva Dham. That Sadashiva there is in the form of Lord Narayana, four-handed form. That is the original form of Lord Shiva. When he comes into Mahesh Dham, he takes the form of what we see. He wear what they call leopard skin. He's got a snake on his neck. He's got a trishul, and he's got a moon on his head. He's covered by ash. He comes in this form. Okay. So in these Vaikuntha planets, the mode of these Vaikuntha planets is Aishwarya. Aishwarya means opulence, very, very opulent. So in one book written by Sanatan Goswami called Brihad Bhagavatam Rita, there is a story of one Kumara, a cowherd boy in Govardhan Hill. He left his body on earth and he was making his journey back home, back to Godhead. He was supposed to go back to Goloka Vrindavana. So he went through the earthly Devi Dham. He went to Mahesh Dham. He reached Vaikuntha Dham. So in Vaikuntha, he was looking here and there. Where's my Krishna? Where's my Gopal? Where's my Gopal? So in Vaikuntha planets, Lord Vishnu, Lord Narayana, he is also the same color as Krishna. Krishna is dark blue. Lord Narayana in Vaikuntha is also dark blue. Krishna wears a golden dhoti. Lord Narayana also wears a golden dhoti. So this Kumara, when he saw Lord Narayana from far, he said, "Hey Gopal, hey Gopal." You know, he's like friend lah. So everyone there in Vaikuntha said, "Shh, hey, hello, don't call Lord Narayana like this, okay?" Here we see Lord Narayana is the supreme personality of Godhead. We worship him with all reverence. We worship him because Aishwarya. We worship him with all reverence. So they told him, said, "This is not your place. You must go further. You must go to Goloka Vrindavana." So above Vaikuntha planets, in the Vaikuntha planets, the highest planet is Goloka Vrindavana. And it is described that this Goloka Vrindavana is bigger than all the Vaikuntha planets put together. We will see our map, there's a map you will see here. You see Golka will be very small, Vaikuntha will be about this big. No, it's not accurate. Actually, Goloka is bigger than all the Vaikuntha planets put together, and what to speak of this Devi Dham. Golka is huge, and Goloka is in the shape of a lotus flower. Okay, they are in a lotus flower. There are petals. So one petal is one dham. So this Dwarka Dham, where this pastime is happening, is one of the petals. Okay. There is Dwarka Dham, there is Mathura Dham, there is Navadip Dham, there is Jagannathpuri Dham, there is Ayodhya Dham, there's a few others. Okay. So these petals, they are Aishwarya mixed with Madhurya, opulence mixed with conjugal love, sweet sentiment, the mix. So this is what you're seeing here. Actually, the mix is what these queens of Vrindavan, these queens of Dwarka is exhibiting, because they are princesses, they are queens, they are very Aishwarya, they have a lot of, they're very attached to their opulence. Okay. In that mood, they are trying to tackle Krishna. Krishna here, he says here, he's not interested. He was not attracted to these wives. He was not attracted to them at all. The only person in Dwarka that Krishna was attracted to was Rukumani. And later on, you will hear that Krishna will say that, "My dear Rukumani, do you know why I married you?" She says, "No, I don't know why." Because actually, you remind me of the gopis in Vrindavan. That is the reason why he married her. That's why he respect her also. He respect this Rukumani. The other queens, he's just like it is explained here. He's just a hand-packed husband. What the wife asked to do, he will do that. He's just there to satisfy their desires. But he is not attracted to them. He is only attracted to the mood of the gopis in Vrindavan. That is the center of the Goloka Vrindavana. Just like you have petals, the center is the round part where the seed of the flower is. That center there, and in that Goloka Vrindavana, that Vrindavana, the mood there is Madhurya only, no Aishwarya at all. It is very opulent. It is very opulent, but the mood there is of Madhurya. They are very sweet. They are only interested in pleasing Krishna. They are not interested in anything else, and that is exhibited in the Gokula Vrindavana on earth. So if you do a comparison between these queens of Dwarka and these gopis in Vrindavan, it is like night and day. It is like night and day. These queens in Dwarka, they have opulence. They have, it is described that in Dwarka, Krishna has 16,108 palaces for each one of his 16,108 queens. Okay, that's all we hear, but we do not know what kind of palace, because you say palace means we will think of Istana Negara. That is Kuchi. There is nothing. It is described that these queens' palaces in Dwarka, they are 2 miles by 2 miles. That is just one palace. The size of this palace is 2 miles by 2 miles. So 4 square miles. That is just one palace. And there's 60, you count and see 16,000 times, 16,108 times 4 square miles. How much is that? Something like 64,000 something square miles. That is just the queens, Krishna's queens. And then the other inhabitants there, they have their own palace also. It's so opulent. It is described somewhere that Dwarka was 96,000 square miles. 96,000 square miles. So our Penang Island also is not 96,000 square miles. So can you imagine? I don't know. New York also is not. London also is not. Maybe a whole country land. Maybe the whole of Thailand is 96,000 square miles, if I'm not mistaken. I think so. That was the city of Dwarka. You see, so these queens all were very attached to all this opulence. Oh, my palace. Oh, and they had servants. They had everything. They had all the opulence. But look at the gopis in Vrindavan. What did they have? They are village girls. They had nothing. They had their name now. They have their respect. You know, I'm a woman. I'm a girl. Even that also they gave up. For who? For Krishna's sake. In the middle of the night, they go and meet Krishna in the jungle to enjoy with him, you know. So what people will think, they say, these are all cheap girls now, no, very low class girls now. They all don't care. Because their goal is only to please Krishna. That is the highest realization. Jivara Swarupa Krishna Nitya Das. You know. So this is actually the first section of this chapter. It explains the mood of the queens of Vrindavan and how Krishna is not interested. So I wanted to just talk about this. So these queens, these 16,108 queens of Dwarka, each one of them gave birth to 10 sons. So 16,108 times 10 is how much? 161,080 sons. Okay? And each one of these sons gave at least 10 sons also. So you count and see. That's 1,600,000 sons. This is like sons and grandsons. This one not including the daughters. Daughters not mentioned yet here. This one just sons only. And it is explained in the purport. These sons have children. These children have children. These children have children. The Krishna's clan itself was more than 1 billion. 1 billion. Okay. So it is explained here that the first son of Rukumani his name is Pradumna. Okay. Pradumna got married earlier to his past life wife, Rati. He was Cupid and Rati was Cupid's wife. He got married to her earlier. So this chapter talks about how this Pradumna gets married to Rukmi's daughter. Rukmi's daughter. Her name was Rukmavati. Her name was Rukmavati. So from the marriage of Pradumna and Rukmavati came Aniruddha, their son. This son gets married to Rukmi's granddaughter, Rochana. So it is stated here that these personalities are special. These are all very great souls. Among human society, this is not recommended. Cousins marrying cousins. Even I think you know, cousin marrying cousin, all you'll see the children all come out all spastic. All taputta even. So it's not recommended. In scientifically also they explain this. It's not recommended at all. But here, this is what happened. So Parikshit Maharaj, he heard this, he got confused. He said, hey, I thought Rukmi is envious of Krishna. Krishna humiliated him. He kidnapped his sister. He defeated him in a fight, in a battle. He defaced him and all that. Why is Rukmi giving his daughter and granddaughter to Krishna's son and grandson? Why? So it is explained here that this is all because of attachment. See, false ego. Attachment. He was so much attached. Rukmi was so much attached to his sister Rukmani that he agreed, okay, for the sake of keeping family ties, I give my daughter and my granddaughter to your son and to your grandson. Okay. So what happened was, actually this is how the Kshatriyas, they form alliances. This is how they create peace in the world. Very shortcut way to find peace, to become rich, is to get married to peace and rich. It's the easiest way. One technique. Some it's still happening now also actually. Some very small. So what happened was, there's a story here of what happened when Aniruddha was supposed to be wed to Rochana. Aniruddha is the grandson of Krishna and Rochana is the granddaughter of Rukmi. So this wedding ceremony was attended by all the Yadu dynasties. Krishna went, Balaram went, Satyaki went, Ugrasena went, Devaki, Vasudeva, all of them went for the wedding ceremony. And it was held in a city by the name of Bojakata. This Bojakata is the abode of Rukmi. So in this wedding ceremony, this what you call Rochana, the granddaughter of Rukmi, chose Aniruddha in a Swayambara ceremony. She chose him. It is not like, hey, father would tell the daughter, hey, you're gonna get married today, okay? This is your husband. No, there's no such thing. The girl can choose. The girl can say, no, I don't like him. He got ugly face. I want handsome face. The girl must be able to choose, because she's going to spend her life, her rest of her life with this so-called man. Okay. So this wedding ceremony, this Rochana choose Aniruddha. It's not like she was forced. She chose him because why? All the sons of Krishna, they look a lot like Krishna. Very charming, very beautiful. So the grandsons also like that also, same also. Very beautiful, very charming. So after the wedding, what happened was, as usual, Kshatriyas, they'll get together, they'll enjoy themselves, they have a party. So there was one king by the name of King of Kalinga. He go and whisper into Rukmi's ears and said, hello, you go and ask Balaram for a gambling match. Go and challenge him to a gambling match. These fellas all cowherd boys, what they know about gambling. So this is what Rukmi heard. So Rukmi said, okay, he went to ask Balaram, okay, come and play with me with what dice game. So Kshatriyas, when they asked to play, they'll never refuse. They have to oblige. So the first round they played, Balaram bet 100 gold coins. He lost. And then second time he bet 1,000 gold coins. He lost. The third time he bet 10,000 gold coins. Balaram lost. So each time he lost, this king of Kalinga and his gang, all they laughed at Balaram. And this king of Kalinga especially, he was very envious of Balaram. When he laughed, he showed all his teeth. Like that. I don't know how he can show all the teeth. I cannot show my teeth. he showed all his teeth, when this Lord Balaram, when he saw this, he got irritated. He said, what? You asked me come and play, I play. I lose, you keep quiet lah. I lose lah. After they were laughing, he was like that. Then he said, never mind, you asked me to play. I continued to play. The third bet, he betted 100,000 gold coins. This time Balaram won. But Rukmi, he cannot take the loss. He's so, wounded from Krishna's experience, So wounded, he cannot take the loss. He said, no, I won. He said, I won. When Balaram saw this, he got, his temper just went up. He said, nonsense, full of you. They say, okay. This time you say you won. Okay, let's bet again. This time Balaram bet 1 million gold coins. And this time Balaram won again. Again, Rukmi said, I won. Oh, Lord, this time he got angry. This time Balaram got angry. Then Rukmi tried to find support from his king of Kalinga and gang. I say, did I win or not? The moment he asked that, there was a voice in the sky. He says, Balaram won. Rukmi is lying. That time Rukmi also, his face also don't know where to put it. The voice from the sky can say he is a liar, means where you want to put your face. These are Kshatriya kings, So that time he start to insult Balaram. Says, "You Balaram, you are actually cowherd boy lah. What do you know about gambling all? You should just go take care of cows lah. You leave all this gambling towards Kshatriyas lah." Or that's it lah. The last straw, Balaram was really upset. He took his gada and knocked it on the head of Rukmi. Rukmi fell down and died. Finish. Pochi. Govinda. And this king of Kaliga and gang, they tried to run away. This Balaram caught hold of him. This king of Kaliga knocked his teeth out. All his teeth came out. And all the other gang, only broke the leg, broke the hand, broke the leg. And while all of this is going on, Krishna was there. He saw this. He just kept quiet. He didn't say anything. Why? Because if he says something means Balaram will get upset. If he intervene means Rukumani will get upset. Because why? Her brother died. There, see. So from this pastime you can see that in this material world, if you want to find happiness, somehow or other, some talavali will come inside, and this is a very good example. It's a wedding ceremony. It was supposed to be a very happy occasion. But this nature of this material world is that you'll always find some kokamaka people like this king of Kalinga, Rukmi, and they'll always have some friends. And they'll always have some bad intention for you, even though you might be the greatest saint in the whole world. This is the nature of this material world. So therefore, the lesson in this chapter, and also what I explained earlier, is don't have your faith in this material world. Don't waste your time in acquiring more and more wealth, kasa vedum, pilinga, this, that. If it happens, it happens. But don't desire for it. Don't what they call over endeavor. You're wasting your time. At the end of your life, 3 things are guaranteed. 3 things. Guaranteed. Number one is you'll become old. Number 2, you'll get disease. And number 3 is, this one guaranteed, number 1, you will pochi, Govinda. Everything that you work so hard for, nothing you take with you to your next life. So therefore, the Vedanta Sutra says there, Atato Brahma Jigyasa. This human life is meant for inquiring into the absolute. You are Atma, you are absolute. You are not your body. This body is temporary. Atma is absolute. The absolute must go back to absolute. Atma must go back to the eternal. So Vedanta Sutra says now you have this human form of life. You must inquire into the absolute. If you don't inquire into the absolute, you are considered no better than an animal. Animal business is what? Eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. For those who do not know and do not pursue this, spiritual life, you just open your eyes and you look what they are doing every day, every month, every week, every year, what they are doing. It's these 4 things really: eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. Animal might eat on the road, on the ground. We might eat in a nice restaurant, aircon, nice table, gold plate. Doesn't matter. The point is eating is still going there. If you go to a nice restaurant, gold plate, got aircon, got piping music, got live band and all that, but no food, what's the point? Would you stay there? No. Because the point of a restaurant is to get the food. So whether you eat the food on a gold plate or you eat on the floor, it's still eating. Number 2, sleeping. Cats and dogs might sleep on the floor. We sleep in apartment, 5-star hotel. Now what? 7-star hotel, I heard. Does it really matter? At the end of the day, you can be in a 7-star hotel and you cannot sleep. What's the point? I have slept under a tree. a few times, and I don't know why. The best sleep I've ever had. I cannot understand this. I cannot understand. Until today, I cannot explain this. I have my own home. I have my own bed. I got aircon. I got fan. Everything got. I cannot get good sleep. Moment go under a tree, sleep under a tree, suddenly, okay, knockout.
So it doesn't matter where is it, apartment, car, under tree, car, sleep is sleep. Animals, their entertainment is sex. For animals, they don't have brains. Their entertainment is sex. But we all humans, we have brains. We have more variety of entertainment. We like to eat food. We like entertainment. We like theater. We like Astro or Netflix, iFlix, Underflix, Interflix, all kinds of entertainment. We like to enjoy ourselves. But at the end of the day, the more you indulge in this entertainment, what happens is your senses become dull. You need more and more to get the same kick. So our Sastra say, be happy with just the bare minimum. Don't indulge yourself more and more. You will just trap you in unhappiness. Don't get involved. You just be happy with what you need. What is it that we need? We need enough food to eat. We got clothes. We got roof over our head. That's all. And number 4, eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. Animals defend by their teeth and their claws. We defend ourselves by working hard, earning money in a job so that our things that we buy don't get tarik. That is how we defend ourselves. We have alarm system. We have CCTV. Exactly. If you look the world around you, people are preoccupied with these 4 things only. And despite having everything in their life, they're still unhappy. Why? Because the most important point is missing. Hello, you're not this body, you're the eternal spirit soul, you're Jiva Atma. How are you addressing your Jiva Atma? You're feeding your body, but what are you doing to feed your soul? That is very, very important to understand. This body, you feed this body, at the end, you have to let it go only. That is called death. But this Atma, there is no death, it is eternal. So if you feed your Atma, means what? Yorugiya. No. You untung, everything you get for any advancement you make spiritually, that is your profit permanently. So this is what Shastra is saying. This is what this story is about also. So this story also tells that the Supreme Lord comes to this material world to remind us. He come and do all this kind of pastime just to tell us, hey, look, don't waste your time. Like this king of Kalinga, he is so envious. He wanted to cheat the Supreme Lord. Even he knows. Balaram, people say, is the Supreme Lord. Krishna is the Supreme Lord. But in their heart, they did not accept. They want to play a fool. So this is the result. He lost all his teeth. Rukmi lost his life. So Hare Krishna, I'll end here. Thank you very much. Any Kelvigal, any Sandegam, any comments? This Canto pen is tough.
Yeah.
No stories with that.